colleague Richard Pond, who is at another presentation today. So we're kind of splitting duties. And I think you all know Roxanne, so.
Well, slowly learning who I am. I'm Roxanne Cruz, I'm the governmental relations representative. So I'm point for the city for PG&E, so I help find opportunities like this for us to present.
Okay. First question I have for everybody here, how many people have a smart meter on their house right now? Wow.
I've been out of town, and then I think I came home and there was something hanging, so I think that they installed them in our complex.
Okay.
Yeah, that's with the door hangers. Yeah, they put them out.
And it's still on the other side of the door. Okay. So I'm like, okay, I need to find out what's going on since I've been traveling.
Oh, so it's not, so your meter is inside a door casing?
No, I'm saying that they put the door hanger on the exterior.
Oh.
And then so when I walked in the door, I just put it on the exterior, and I was like, oh, I'm sure the HOA will send another notice telling everyone what's going on, and then I'll read this.
Okay, I see that.
Okay, so wow, it's the first time I entered a room where there's one possible and no one else. It's kind of surprising. Okay, so what I'm going to cover today is I'm going to cover both the gas and electric smart meters. This is what they look like. I'm going to talk about how they work, how the program started, some highlights and benefits of having a smart meter, and I'll give some Richmond-specific facts about deployment in Richmond. So let's go ahead and get started. What is a smart meter? Is the most common question I get asked. Smart meter is an automated meter. Basically, it's automated meters. Basically, what it does is it communicates usage from your meter via your electric meter or your gas meter to what they call a data collection unit, and it goes back to PG&E. And so it's wireless. So now there's not a meter reader coming to the property anymore. The reason why we've gone with doing this is for a couple reasons. We're doing it to prepare for the smart grid, the coming of the smart grid, so we're doing that. And also, it's given us more information than ever before, and also for the customer. The customers now are able, due to the smart meter, are able to see their usage is broken down hourly for the electric meter and daily for gas, and they can see previous day. So if you have a smart meter and you log on the internet, you can see yesterday's electricity broken down by the hour. And businesses, they'll be showing it either hourly or in 15-minute increments. They're still working that out. I'll start over here first with the gas meter. The gas meter itself, I'll bring it over here so you guys can see it. Looks exactly the same as a gas meter. It doesn't change. Your gas meter does not change. What they do is they take the dials that are on the original gas meter. They unscrew the dials, take the dials off. There's no gas outage, so you're not going to have to relight a pilot light. And what they do is they put this module in between the dials and the meter, and they put the dials back on. This basically has two lithium-ion batteries in there. One is used for backup. One is on to transmit data. They're about the size of a AA battery, and their expectancy of the life on this is 20 years. And after 20 years, they'll realize when they stop getting a signal from it, they'll figure something's wrong. Their battery's dead, and they'll go out and they'll go out and change it out and do a read. As far as being billed for gas, you're still being billed exactly the same. The unit itself will transmit every 4 hours. It will transmit your usage, but it only shows daily what on the internet, if you want to use the internet tools daily, how much you've used. So basically, this is what it looks like. All they do is just take the dial off, put the module on. They don't change out the meter unless they have to, unless the meter's really old or it has a leak. When they notice a leak at the time, they will change the meter out. And this here is the electric meter. Looks completely different. So there's going to be a complete meter change on the electric meter. Okay. For business customers, typically, depending on the size, will not have an outage because they just do a bypass. They can bypass the electricity so they can change the meter out without killing power for someone during the day. Residentially, they will have to turn the power off for about 5 minutes to change the meter out. This meter has completely changed. The meter itself, though, the digital meter, has been in existence since 1980. They've used digital time-of-use meters. So the meter itself has been is the exact same meter. It counts the same way kilowatts were counted back in the 80s, still the same way now. The only difference is they now have 2 radios in them. One radio is turned off, the other radio is turned on. They're both rated at 1 watt. The first radio is turned on. That's the radio that's going to communicate your data. Okay. When it does communicate, the meter only communicates for 45 seconds in a 24-hour period. It does download your usage on the hour, but it's like a millisecond. It's like a 20th of a second. It's really quick. It just sends the sign out. And the electric meter itself also can show you now instantaneous what you're using. Beforehand, they never could. Before they had the rotary, they had the dials, and some people know how to read it. I still don't know how to read a rotary meter. This one here can actually show you how much you're using, how much you're pulling at any time. At the top, it'll always show you your kilowatt usage, your kilowatt hours, how much you're obtaining, and then it'll show you on the bottom underneath it. It'll show the line side what's coming in. Typically, the house is 240. This plug will probably show 110, 120, and then it'll show you how much you're using, how much you're pulling. There's two types of electric meters that they're using these days. There's a Landis in here and a GE. This one happens to be GE. They function exactly the same. The only difference is the screens are a little bit different on how to read it. And when a customer comes to the property, when the PG&E comes to the property, we're using Wellington engineers unless the customer calls and specifies they want PG&E to install the meter. And when Wellington comes, they knock at your door.
Hi.
It's okay. So basically, when Wellington comes to your door, the protocol is they knock at the door. If there's someone at home, they are supposed to give you some time to unplug electrical appliances that you want to unplug, like your computer, what have you. If no one's home and they can access the meter, they'll go ahead and change the meter out. If no one's home after they knock, they will hang a door hanger. So they've been there, and it basically, the door hanger now tells you how to read your meter and gives you some other facts about the program. I'm sorry, I have to peek down real quick, make sure I'm covering everything. Okay, so communication-wise, the gas meter itself has one-way communication, which basically means the meter itself communicates to PG&E the usage. PG&E cannot communicate with the gas meter, okay? And this meter here has two-way communication, where PG&E can't communicate with the meter, and the meter can communicate with us. It doesn't mean just because we can communicate with the meter that we go in and do anything at all with it. Typically, what we use our communication for, almost all the time we use our communication for a couple things. First thing we use it for is to diagnose an outage. If the meter, they can now diagnose an outage much quicker with the smart meter than they could the old meter. The old meter, the people have to pick up the phone and call us. Now they can diagnose it with the smart meter. They can diagnose it to a block for a lot faster. They can see, well, this pole block's out, their meters are out. So it means there must be an outage. They can do it faster. The other reason the two-way communication also is they can also, when you're moving into your place, moving into a new house, we can turn on the electricity remotely. So you don't have to wait for a service man to come out and turn the electricity on. Gas, unfortunately, you still have to wait for the guy to come out and turn the gas on. There is no automated turn on. That also brings up the question that people ask oftentimes, well, since you guys can remotely turn it on, it means you can remotely turn it off. That's true, we can. But we have a protocol which we have to follow for anybody that's shut off. There is many steps that is drawn out by the Public Utilities Commission that we have to follow before we turn somebody off. And actually, the turn-off ratio has gone down about 33% from this past year. So we're not turning as many people off. We're actually offering more programs, which I'm not real familiar with a lot of the programs like CARE and Medical Baseline that are helping people out. And we're also helping people with longer payment plans to pay their bills. So some Richmond-specific information I can give you. PG&E is not the only one installing smart meters. They're being installed everywhere. In fact, I'll pass these out to you guys. They're being installed all throughout California. Okay, thank you guys. I appreciate it. They're being installed everywhere. The East Coast is really going forward and installing a lot of them. In California, SDG&E, SoCal Edison, San Francisco Public Utilities Commission for water meters are getting ready to install them. Irrigation, but I think the Modesto Irrigation District's getting ready to install. Yeah. So we're just happen to be the first people out there. We've currently installed approximately 7 million meters. We have 10 million total to do. We've done about 7 million as of, this slide's a little bit old, as of like last week. Stats for Richmond. Richmond right now is about 86% deployed. Exact number is we've installed 76,000 meters. That's gas and electric together. And there's about 12,500 left to go. Let's see, what else can I tell you guys here? Do you guys want to see how the meter works? I can show you the electric meter, how it works. Okay. So basically right now, it's just cycling through. There's nothing drawn on it. It has no kilowatt hour usage on it whatsoever because this is a brand new display board. My partner's display board is full of time. So I'm gonna go ahead and flip the light on. flipped on a 100-watt bulb, and it's gonna cycle through. And the first thing it's gonna show after the ADI, that's just a test screen, it's pulling 99 watts right now. Typically, a 100-watt bulb between 99 watts to 102 watts there, give or take. And the line side is 118, so it's pulling 118 out of the plug right here. Okay, so what I'll do is I'm now going to put this guy on, and we're going to go ahead and cycle through again. It's showing 118 again, and it's going. And the 888, that's just a test. That means it's working. If it goes blank, the meter's not working. And here we go. It's pulling 17 watts. So it basically instantaneously can show what's pulling. I mean, if you flip lights on, I mean, a lot of people these days, a lot of PG employees have gotten their smart meters. I've got my smart meter. In the morning, it's really sad. I actually walk out to my smart meter and look at it and make sure I didn't leave any lights on because I see a huge one. Oh man, I run back in the house, turn off lights because bills get high. I mean, there's a tiered rate structure. Bills can get high, and that's the other thing that the meter can do for you. Besides seeing your instantaneous loads, you can go on the internet and see your usage hourly for electric and daily for gas. But also now with the smart meter, it allows you to get energy alerts. So basically, when you sign up online at pg.com/smartmeter, you go to My Smart Meter. You can also sign up for energy alerts. When you get your meter installed, they're about 60 to 90 days from that point they'll start sending energy alerts. So when you start climbing the different tiers, they'll either email you, text you, call you. They're like, that's saying that you're entering from tier 2 to tier 3. So they're giving people, so you know that you're getting close. You can go ahead and figure out, okay, what's going on. It also helps diagnose billing issues a lot better because you might get a high bill. Oh my goodness, my bill went up, $300. What's going on? And you can actually go online, and we can do the same, and we can look at your hourly usage and say, wow, you guys have a spike around 1 o'clock in the afternoon, and you say, well, there's nobody home. Maybe like some cases, like my own parents, they had a spike. They're supposed to pull pump. The valve came loose, and the pull pump spun, and the little dial turned at 1 o'clock, and the pull pump was on all afternoon. My parents never had an idea it was on. And then we fixed it, and they were able to get it.
We hear some really great stories too where parents are not home after, the kids come home from school and the parents aren't home and they're like, why this spike between 3 and 3:30 or 4 o'clock? And it's because the kids come home, turn on the TVs, put their, turn on the radios, turn on their video games, and then all of a sudden there's this like increase in their, at that time frame, and it's because the kids are coming home, just active and there's lights turning on. So parents are able to kind of monitor their children's activities in the afternoon, because now they have something to kind of help guide what's going on around that time frame. So it's kind of funny to hear some of the stories where people are really tracking and seeing what's changing in their pattern for the day.
From my experience talking to customers, that's what I do. I talk to all kinds of customers with their concerns or questions about smart meter. The biggest offender towards wasting power are college students, believe it or not. Parents call me up and, what's going on with my bill? Do you have a student home from school? And you see it occur at Christmas time. Yeah, my son was home from spring break from winter break from Cal. And she's like, oh, he must have the heater blasting, and they figured out. My son's 3 years old. He wastes power too. He goes and flips all the lights on, and comes behind him, turning them off. That's pretty much the smart meter in a nutshell, how it works. You guys have any questions regarding how? Okay.
Just a couple of questions off of that. How much do they cost? And then also, can you talk a little bit about smart appliances?
Okay, sure. Cost-wise, I'm not too positive. I can definitely find out. I hear different numbers. I know the cost for the meters built into the rate. That's how they change out meters. There's always maintenance cost built into all rates, and that's how they change out the meters. As far as appliances, there are some smart appliances coming up. That's what the second radio is for. Second